I wanted to make a quick video for one of my brides. She just texted me and says, I do have a question. I haven't decided on alterations for sure yet, but since I'm so far of a drive from Fort Worth, she's about an hour and a half, am I able to use my alterations lady down here? So I wanted to answer this in a more thorough way because especially if you're on the fence, there are some things that you're maybe considering for on the back end. And the number one answer is yes. So even though we have in-house alterations, I'm a seamstress, I'm your bridal stylist, and then Tammy's also an owner. We've been together 15 years. She's going to help you get ready for your big day. Even though we're both here, you absolutely have to go with the tailor or seamstress that is convenient and experienced, someone that you trust. So if you have somebody in your local area that you have used for other weddings, and it's somebody that your friends have used and they have a similar personality to yours and similar dress quality as yours, we're done. You're going to that person. But there are a few things that a lot of brides don't consider, and most of you, this is your first time. So I wanted to give you some things to think about before you make this decision, but I want to make sure that the tone of my video is not shaming other professionals. It's really just to put you in a position of experience and making sure you consider all the things that happen on the back end that I've had brides come in. I recently had a mom the other day that said, oh, you did my friend's dress. She didn't buy her dress here, but she got her dress messed up at another tailor, and then you guys fixed it and cleaned it up. We clean up so many messes that I don't want you as my bride especially, or any bride, to have an experience like this. So number one is I want you to know that you will only have 2 fittings here. So you want to ask the person that you're going to, what are the typical fitting timelines? Are they a seamstress that typically has 4 fittings? If you are doing a free weight loss check, then you for sure have 3 visits. You have the initial one where we pin everything, and then you do the progress check for weight loss, and then you take it home in that final fitting when we're closing it up. But if you live far away and you're saying, hey, how do I save time and not come to the store as often, then we would see you in 2 fittings. We would plan ahead. We get a lot of women who fly in, drive in from all over the US, and we will have direct communication with you to say, hey, when are you booking this flight? And we can even plan around flights. So keep that in mind, because the person that you're using, if they do typically run 4 to 5 fittings, there's a couple of things that could be happening there. If you're not doing a weight loss check or anything like that, some seamstresses are really great seamstresses, but they are not great at managing business, and they need more time to kind of like do things, and it could wear you out with your schedule. So especially if you have a short timeline, you have a busy schedule, you don't have a long year to plan, and if you're planning on a shorter timeline, that could wear you out to have 4 or 5 fittings. So I just want you to ask that question. Second is, if you have a satin fitted dress, the perception is, oh, my dress is so simple, I can take it to anybody. It's not like it has lace or beading in detail. Well, if your dress is fitted and it's also satin, it is a vulnerable fabric, and a lot of us don't realize it takes a lot of skill to not create problems in a vulnerable dress that could expose all the things. So you just have to make sure that you're going to someone that you trust. And I'm also going to touch on number 5, which is reviews. So we'll talk about that too. But satin fitted dresses, they show stains very easily too. So you also want to consider the environment that they're sewing in. So I've had brides take their dresses to in-home places, and maybe they didn't have the most like separated place, and stains, the smells, and also just being really skilled with clean fabrics is really important, because it's not with lace. You can go over and over on a seam and take it in and let it out and take it in, and it's not as noticeable. But with satin, you just have to be careful. The personality of the seamstress, oh my gosh. So this is number 3. If you have a seamstress that is just glass half full personality, they don't make a lot of comments, they keep to themselves, but they're also helpful and provide value and education and stories from their experience, that's a really good balance to have. Someone that's not gonna just be shy and not say anything, but someone who's really going to make the experience light, focused on you, and keeping like the work moving. I think that is so important. Sometimes you get those seamstresses, and I've employed these individuals where they're just like brain dumping or thinking out loud, but they don't realize that they're actually putting all this unnecessary stress on the bride by talking about how stressful it is to do a clean satin fitted dress, or how You know, they'll blame the fabric or blame the designer or blame this. And it's really, it's challenging working with those individuals that just, that's their mindset. That's how they do life. And you can't change that. So be looking for that, especially if you have a short timeline. Okay. So number 4 is cost. And a lot of people think if I'm going to a small town, I'm going to save cost. But let me tell you, so we're in Fort Worth, which is a big city. Yes, when we look at quotes from Dallas, Louisville, Fort Worth, Plano, Frisco, we're like, wow, there are so many places that are charging $1,500 and up. And in fact, I'm in a Facebook group with other bridal salons, and there have been some stores that are like, is this normal that my seamstress is charging XYZ? And they'll list out all these examples and scenarios, and we're all just like floored with what's happened to the cost of alterations. But I've also seen small towns go heavy. So like Weatherford sounds like a small town, but it's actually, according to the cost of alterations that I'm seeing, I'm not saying that people shouldn't charge their worth. And I'm not saying that a business is evil because they're trying to make what they need to. Some seamstresses sew fast, some slow, some sew slower, and they have to charge what they need. If they're in their home, they're probably a lower price point. If they're in a building or in a high rent area, be mindful, because I've been blown away. Our brides are spending $400 to $900 plus tax. And if you're spending on the $900 side, you're doing multiple touch points, like maybe a full body take-in, maybe a little butt cup in the back, and then your hem bustle and something going on, and maybe the straps. And then if you're on the lower side, you're probably like hem and bustle, like your basics. But you just never know. Your fabric, your fit, all sorts of factors play into it. So just putting it out there, just keep in mind, there's a lot happening with cost of alterations. Now, we own our building. We purchased our building many years ago. We have a lot of flexibility that we can offer in savings to our brides because we have a small team. Tammy and I are the owners. We're also running a pretty lean business. So yes, if we were paying rent for the building that we were in, we would be one of those stores too. That would be going with the cost of insurance and all the utilities that have gone up and all the merchant services that have gone up and all the payroll expenses that have gone up. But we don't have all of that fighting against us, so we pass that savings on. We're also both really fast seamstresses, which we're very thankful for. And then also the personality of Tammy, she's a little bit more of like, I couldn't imagine charging that much. She's that person. 5, and I'm leaving you on this note, wherever you go, please stay away from the businesses that are cash only and that have 0 reviews. If they don't have years of reviews on Facebook, Google, Yelp, whatever, I'm not saying they have to be 5-star perfect reviews. You need to see what people complained about when they didn't have a 5-star experience and how did the business respond to that. There's been plenty of issues in the 20 years that we've been in business, but what you're looking for is consistency. You're looking for a business that has an online reputation and they care about that. So these are all my tips. Go wherever you trust and you'll have the best experience. You can save a little bit of cost, but then pay for it in fittings and meetings and just frustration. Also think about all these things and let me know if you need any help. I will link my calendar below. We have our whole calendar online. You pay a deposit to book and hold the spot, and we also save your date for the wedding, and then that money goes towards the bill same day. Okay, I'm Sue with Ava's Bridal in Fort Worth, Texas. You can bring your dress from offsite, or if you purchased it in store, we will absolutely get you ready. We are quick, affordable, great to work with. See you soon.